Sometimes taking the easy way is a good thing. At the start, it can be very hard, and I don't think many people talk about that. Say hello to my vlog. The most powerful thing about meditation so far for me has been... Good morning. So just finished meditation. I've been meditating now for about a week. Been doing it for 20 minutes, and it was something that was recommended to me by my mindset coach, actually. In the past, I had done little bits of meditation here and there, nothing that I could really stick to, but I guess my coach really challenged me to sit still, for 20 minutes every single day. The most powerful thing about meditation so far for me has been to practice the ability to sit still, feel all of the emotions that come, and then let it just fade away. One of the biggest problems that I see, within my clients, is that they're never taught how to process or regulate their emotions. And as a result, a lot of people don't like to feel certain emotions. Like, for example, let's say you get to the end of a long work day, you're really stressed, and all of a sudden you're binge eating. The reason why the binge eating happens is because you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel overwhelmed. There's a lot of emotions that come with that, and you don't want to feel those emotions, so you go towards food to numb those emotions. I think that's something that maybe some people know, but they don't necessarily have the tools to regulate it and process it. So yeah, the first step is to understand, what is it that you're actually feeling? What emotions are you actually feeling? And then from there, once you get that awareness, using practical tools like meditation or journaling, or, there's other tools that I give my clients, but using those kind of tools to help you actually practice regulating it, that gives you a sense of control over your life, because you're not going through life being so reactive. This is breakfast: 2 slices of bread, 4 eggs, 50 grams of smoked salmon, and 50 grams of cottage cheese. Yeah, just thought I'd show you guys my breakfast, and then we're going to go back to check-ins. Mum, say hello to my vlog.
No! Alan, say something.
Huh?
Say something.
Do this.
Thì ra là vậy. No, you're...
So today's Friday. Friday is always check-in day. So basically on Fridays, all of our clients, they submit a check-in form. The form runs them through a couple of things, but more specifically how the week went, what went well, what didn't go so well, what they struggled with, as well as, any information on what things they have going on the next week. And then after that, we come back to them with either a video response or a written response, sometimes a call based on what they need, giving them solutions to issues that they encountered in the week, practical solutions, as well as, different perspectives and mindsets that they can take away to better tackle the things that life presents them. And then as well as giving them practical strategies for what they have the next week. They might have social events, they might be traveling, they might have busy work schedules, or, anything like that. Some clients are moving houses or even moving interstate or whatever it may be, So whatever life throws at them, we give them a practical solution on how to still be able to prioritize themselves in the process. Because one of the biggest misconceptions about fitness, and the biggest misconceptions about the whole notion of consistency, is that a lot of people have this belief that consistency is built on the grounds of being perfect, right? You're on a fitness journey, you're consistent, meaning that you're eating a meal plan, you're doing your training program, you're doing your steps every single day, you're ticking off the boxes every single day. But consistency is not that. Consistency is doing the best that you can based on the external circumstances that are presented to you. Some weeks you will have 100% to give, right? You will have 100% capacity. And some weeks you only have 40% capacity. And your capacity is dependent on what external things you have going on. Let's say you have to travel for work, or let's say you're moving houses, or let's say you're sick. Obviously, those things aren't within your control, so they drop your capacity. But the thing about this that a lot of people don't realize is that if you only have 40% to give and you give 40%, then technically you've given 100%. So consistency is not based on the grounds of being perfect every single week. Consistency is based on the grounds of doing the best that you can with the situation at hand. That's kind of like a massive mindset shift that we try our best to give to our clients, because if you can't think in this way, you're always going to be someone who yo-yos. You're always going to be someone who goes up and down, because every single time something in your life doesn't go the way that you want it to, you fall into that all or nothing mindset, and this is where it all goes downhill. So really, really important. Taking a break from check-ins because we just got a package. I'm officially starting my bodybuilding prep tomorrow. The plans come in tomorrow. So scale, kitchen scale, and then I bought a Bluetooth scale. The most frustrating things about being intentional with your fitness is having to track your body weight every single day. But more specifically, it's the process of having to weigh yourself and then get out your phone and then manually record it. I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy, but I find that very tedious. So you buy a Bluetooth scale and it automatically syncs into your phone every single time you step on the scale in the morning. So it just removes that friction. And that's also something that I've learned, right? A lot of people, they say things like, why can't you just pull out your phone and record it? It doesn't take that long. But you don't understand, if you can reduce the friction to everything that you do, it's going to make it not only a lot more productive and efficient, but it's just going to make it a lot more enjoyable, and it's going to make the overall process a lot more enjoyable as well, because if you have to deal with the mental battle, even if it's a small issue, if you have to deal with the mental battle every single morning of having to take out your phone and then record it, and every single time you're dreading it, then why do you need that friction for yourself? You can just make your life a whole lot easier. So yeah, don't listen to people who tell you oh, why are you just doing that? You're lazy, you're taking the easy way out. Sometimes taking the easy way is a good thing, right? I know in principle, growth only comes outside of your comfort zone, but sometimes if you always make things harder than it needs to be, then you're actually limiting your growth in the long term. So you have to learn to discern. There are some things that, yes, you want to take the harder route, but there are also some things where you should make things easier for yourself so that you can be a little bit more efficient. Okay, so wrapping up the day now, 11:24 p.m. I'm kind of drained. Fridays are always the busiest day considering it's our check-in day. And I don't know, something I guess I wanted to reflect on is that something that I guess I've kind of struggled with over the last 3 years, most weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, I've always spent working, and I'm not someone who glorifies that. To be honest, I think there was a stage of my journey where I did glorify that. I did subscribe to the notion of, why would you spend, Friday night and Saturday night out partying or going out for dinner where you could grind and be successful and whatnot. And I think when I first started my business, I was very much in that mindset of it's kind of like that elitist mindset. You think that you're better than everyone else just because you're staying home on a Friday night and working. And I think a lot of, business people or gurus online, they'll tell you, just stay home and work and, don't go and party and stuff. But a lot of them don't talk about how hard it is. And I think also how lonely it is, especially if you're a little bit younger, I'm only 25 years old. And there are some days and some weeks where I feel like maybe I'm missing out a little bit. I'm yeah, I would like to go out and maybe have a dinner, or I would like to go out and enjoy a little bit more. But a part of me also feels maybe guilty for doing so. And it's something that I'm trying to break out of. Although I am currently in a season of my life where I do have goals that I want to achieve, not only for myself, but for my family and the people around me. So I don't mind making these compromises and making these sacrifices, but I won't lie. Sometimes I do kind of ask myself, is it going to be worth it? Or, should I just be enjoying myself a little bit more? At what point does it stop? At what point can I actually go and enjoy myself? And that's something that I'm coming to peace with a little bit more now. I think I've matured a little bit, but I would probably say like a year ago or a year and a half ago or even 2 years ago, it was like a really big struggle, especially when I was just starting the business and I wasn't really that, I guess, successful on paper. And you're kind of like putting all this work in, you're missing out, and you're not even successful. You don't even have anything. So you're kind of like asking yourself, is this even worth it? But I can say it is worth it. Like it is worth it if you're willing to put the time and you're willing to put the hours in and you're willing to put the hard work in. But at the start, it can be very hard. And I don't think many people talk about that. I don't think many people talk about how lonely it is. And, I think a lot of people will put on a front and say like, oh, like it doesn't bother me. And, you can just, yeah, tuck yourself away and work all day, every day. But there are challenges, from a mental perspective. So that's something that I thought I'd reflect on. That's really important, especially if you're someone who is a little bit younger and you're going down the path of, to be honest, whether you're young or whether you're old, it's all the same. Like I think when you work towards anything big in life, there's always going to be an element of sacrifice and compromise that you have to make, and it's never easy. It's never easy no matter what age you are. But yeah, I can say that it is worth it, and if you do have goals, you do have dreams, you do have aspirations, work towards them. And if that requires you to sacrifice some things along the way, as long as it's worth it to you, as long as it's meaningful to you, then it's okay, right? So that's it. Have a good night.